marking out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark.
Hey, good morning. How are you? See, it's the finally Friday edition. You know how I know that? Because I have the big graphic up. Hope you're well wherever you might be as we finish up the week. At least, yeah.
Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite.
Hit us up on the professional door text line, 540-391-0788. McClellan Chiropractic chat room. Hope everybody's doing all right. Phil Elmassian joins us coming up at 7. Mike Ashley, the open mic. He's in Radford. Then Jen, the Gamecock girl. And I don't know where all that stands with the saxophone, but we'll find out. And you and me and everything else in between. Here on this finally Friday edition. Heading into the weekend, where I'll be traveling all day tomorrow to Asheville. Radford basketball, big win last night as expected, even without their starting point guard. And now they can pretty much clinch third place in the tournament with a win tomorrow at Asheville, who got absolutely lambasted last night by High Point. From the Dedman Center down to the New River to Palm Coast, where we listen to the call. Watson is so smooth, we skip the alcohol. I love Morris. RU wins. BDST is live and online. Wow. So smooth that you decided, was it one of those you got ready to take a drink and you're like, wait a minute, just wait. He's getting ready to call the second free throw. You know, I think I'm just going to pour this back in the bottle. That guy is smooth. Was that the kind of thing it was? Appreciate that, Morris. Next to last Saturday in the Big South. He just needed a moment. Never skip the alcohol. That's probably not bad advice, Prometheus. But yeah, big win for Radford. You know, I have a lot of respect for Jeremy Luther, the Gardner Webb coach. They're having a really tough year. And they've had a lot of injuries. But I tell you what, you can tell that a coach is full of good stuff with how hard their guys play. And their guys play very hard. They're just one of the outliers in current college basketball roster makeup. They have a lot of freshmen and sophomores. And I was talking to him. I love talking to the coaches, the opposing coaches, getting their take about. He believes even in this era we're in, he thinks that a lot of these guys will be back. He thinks they can retain many of them and they will want to develop. Because a lot of them came from the junior college ranks. They came as freshmen. And he's got some talent. I think they're going to be okay. So I hope, because he's a good guy. Tim Kraft was their former coach who took over at Western Carolina. But I really appreciated how hard his kids played last night. Jen would shoot me. Manhattan's, I can't see. You know, Jen would not stop. No. The only way Jen would not partake, and we'll ask her this question, and you all remind me. She may not, maybe if Kurt Signetti showed up with some John Coltrane albums, well-prepared meets, and said, hey, put down the Manhattan. Let's have some fun. Then maybe she would put down the Manhattan. Maybe. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply for sponsoring this program. Give James Lawson a call, 5403-818011. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel for sponsoring and creating our T-shirts. $20 if you want one. The NRV Super Bowl, they have fun times on the weekends. They're open late. Get over there. You get some great discounts. Take your crew over there and enjoy the atmosphere they've created. They spent a lot of money turning that place upside down. It looks great. 382-5525. Reserve your lane today. Oh, yeah. I think she is a cigar smoker, Jen, which doesn't surprise me. Ready, Set, Fun, ReadySetFun.com. Bob Chris, CRST11 at Gmail. Thanks, Bob. And go teach your organization how to make some money. Professional Door Incorporated, Travis Williams, residential commercial garage doors. Family owned and operated, 38 years in business. They are the best, and they've expanded, and they've got all sorts of awesome reviews. People that have used them, people talk to me all the time. I think, well, yeah, I know. They're the best. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of yours truly and this program, thanks to Lara Ramsey. BDST fan question of the week with the attorney Ryan Pry. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Give Charles Lee a call today. Don't wait. Pulaski County Sports Entertainment is the presenting sponsor of this program. And we're going to try to figure out a way to move the studio to where they're going to be and do some stuff there. Yeah, we're going to figure that out. Oh, it's going to happen. McClellan Chiropractic, thanks to Mark Hunley, 155 Walters Drive. And as soon as basketball's done, we're going over there to film me go through the regime. And Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios. Always special to mention them. They were the first sponsor. Thanks to Jason Green and Company, 540-200-8294. Check them out at familyfencingnrv.com. Yeah, I'm going to go over and get popped up and down and all around by Mark. It's going to be fun. Yeah, it's, for me, as we talked about that yesterday, I was trying to answer all those questions about my take. I'm never one to want, kind of like what David Smith says, we're not coach hunters. We're not trying to, but you wonder. I don't think there'll be a move made on him. We don't know how Tech's going to finish up first and foremost, but I don't think anything like that's going to happen. But you may have to reflect right after the season and just think, do I want to do this any longer? He doesn't, financially, he doesn't need to worry about it. So I wonder, but he's a competitor too. So I don't know if he'll let that beat him or not. I know that guy and his dad. I mean, they're as hard-nosed as it comes competitively. So I don't know if he would just would be able to accept walking away. Yeah, that was fun. That was great. Women's hockey got the gold medal in overtime over Canada. Polar opposite, and some of these sniveling, spoiled, horrible people that are representing themselves, not this country, that have gone on platforms. By the way, every one of them who was on record of criticizing the country. I'm so ashamed to be representing the. All did miserably. Oh, the U.S. women's hockey team singing the national anthem in unison as loudly as anyone has ever heard it sung, draped themselves in the flag. Well done, ladies. Just disgusting. It's taken a lot of my interest out of the whole Olympics. I don't care. I was following them. I'm going to follow our men's hockey team. It's not the same since they're pros, but they themselves they had their press conference, and to a man, they all talked about how proud they are to represent the country. Isn't it a damn shame that we have to sit here and give props to Olympians who talk about how proud they are to represent the country? That's how far the United States has sunk in terms of its political divide. Oh, I tell you what, with all the danger in the U.S., I can't believe I'm here, and I'm very wealthy with all my sponsors, and I was able to train and do whatever I want to get ready for the Olympics, but I'm so oppressed and so scared. My God. Actual footage of whether it was the figure skater, the downhill skier, whoever it might be. Just fill in the gap. How about you just shut the hell up and appreciate the opportunities you have because of this country? Yeah. Because you can go up there and make stupid comments, uneducated comments, because you've just been brainwashed. You have no idea what you're talking about, but you figure that's what people want to hear. So you're going to say it. You won't get canceled. It's safe. You have no damn idea what's going on in this country. You've been wealthy your whole life. You've been given an opportunity to pursue your Olympic dreams your whole life. And you want to get up and complain about where you live. Yay! Isn't that great? Nobody's crying, little CLO. Stating facts. If you can't handle the facts, I don't care. It's okay, brother. It's okay, little CLO. It's okay. If you don't like the U.S., don't be in here. Nobody cares. Morris says, I've always been on board to contribute to the travel fund to anyone that doesn't like America. Please get the hell out. Yeah. And when you do have other nations where you're being completely oppressed and you have rules against any kind of differences really of what the governments there deem as normal. Do you ever see athletes from any other country go on record to work so hard to separate themselves from the country that they live? Answer the question. The answer is no. Right? Sick and damn tired of it. You talk about not having any self-awareness. We talk about that hyphenated word, self-awareness. Wouldn't it be great if more parents made sure their kids had that, and then they wouldn't grow up with all these advantages, getting to do whatever they wanted in life, and because they are from the United States, they can say what they want because of the freedoms they have, right? They don't recognize that part of it. They just want to say whatever they think is going to be well received by the access media because they know what the access media who's asking the question represents. That's how it works. So in other words, did you ever see questions like that being asked when there were other presidents in office? The answer is no. So the athlete knows that that reporter wants to know if they agree, the person they're interviewing agrees with their point of view, they wouldn't ask the question. All because they hate the current president. You know, I didn't get to see my daughter yesterday. I'm going to see her today. I'm going to spend as much of the day with her as I can. It was her 25th birthday yesterday. I talked to her on the phone a little bit before our game. And she thanked me. It was really emotional. I got emotional about it. She thanked me for a lot. And she said, Dad, thank you for a lot of things, but thank you for helping me understand self-awareness. She said that. As I've gotten older, I always told her, my dad used to always tell me, be aware of your surroundings. So I kind of added that with it. And she goes, it's helped me a lot, she said, as I've gotten older. It's helped me a whole lot. Yep. Sorry, Cold Cream. No, sorry. Sorry to disappoint you there. No. Tech women last night. I didn't get to watch any of it, obviously, because I was doing the Radford game, and it ended before we were done. So they lost in overtime to North Carolina. I still think they're going to be okay for the NCAA tournament. So, yeah. Carolina's pretty good. Tech lost by 3 in overtime. Missed a couple of shots at the end to tie it. So we'll see. We'll see how they respond to that. But the ACC is really deep women's basketball-wise. I still think it's going to be UConn and South Carolina. I know UCLA's got a big record, but if they play one of those teams, they won't be very good, I don't think. UConn is by far and away the best women's team in the country. South Carolina, I think, is next. But Tech's having a good year, and they're playing well. They just ran into a really good team last night on their home floor. Could have won it. They're 20-8. What do they have next? They're at Georgia Tech. No, I'm sorry. They've got Georgia Tech coming to Blacksburg. They should win that. And then they finish up with Virginia. So could get 2 more wins. They should go to 22, and they'll be fine for the tournament. I think. Men have a lot of work to do, but the women do not. The whole Olympic group needs to hear your dad's allowance speech. Yeah. Yeah. And, he told me that, and I never was once bitter. It was almost like I was like, yeah, I guess he's right. And I never thought of it because I was just a punk young kid thinking I deserve more. just thinking I deserve more. No, you really don't. Did you eat well at breakfast? Yeah. Now get out there with the horses. Go take care of them. Okay. And then go to school. Okay. Not one regret. Wouldn't change any part of it. Wouldn't change any part of any of it. And a lot of it is on current day parents. There's no question. I talked to a lot of high school football coaches, and the atmosphere around most of these programs, whether it's football, basketball, et al., fill in the sport, the interference and I guess you could say the attention of influence from these parents today, they say it's almost to the point to where you just want to reevaluate coaching. And I get it. It's got to be the hardest thing. Kudos to all the coaches who are out there with young people today. Accepted before an ass whooping. Yeah, but that wasn't on my mind, Morris. It's like I didn't think about, well, if I decline what Dad's saying, he's going to beat my ass. Which, yeah, he probably would have. But it wasn't really that. It was more like I had to go, yeah, that kind of makes sense. It was kind of like, oh, yeah. I tried to bring a lot of those lessons into my kids. I did. A daughter, when you have a daughter, it's a little different, in terms of those messages. But that made me feel good yesterday. We're going to go eat a little bit later on today. Tebow says most parents think their kid's Michael Jordan. Well, I'm just going to tell you this. From all the coaches that I talked to, the biggest problem going on is parental interruption, if you will. And it's not only directly involved with the coach, but they go to the school board, they go create a culture. It's not necessarily conducive to success. We'll go back to my dad. And I know you probably get tired of hearing about it, but I only grew up one way. I only had one dad. One dad. And when I went out, I really enjoyed playing football at the, middle school and sandlot levels. So I was going to play for Joel Hicks, and Dad had a lot of respect for Coach Hicks, and he got me out of a lot of farm work. Okay, you can do this. He goes, listen, you still need to do the work that you can do here. I know you have to practice and get your body in shape, which the farm really helped me with that. But he said, I don't want you ever coming home and complaining about football. Don't come home and complain about practice. Don't come home about your playing time. He says, if you got an issue, you've got two options. If you feel like you're not playing as much, or if you're not getting the opportunity, or if you feel like coach is coming down on you, you've got two opportunities. You got two choices. You either go out and show that they were wrong and that you deserve another opportunity by working harder, rededicating yourself, or you go and you talk to that coach, whether it's your position coach or whether it's Coach Hicks. Request a conversation. My dad said, if you can't look a man in the eye, you don't have an argument. Don't bring it home to the table. Don't bring it home to the farm. We've got work to do here. It's fine if you do that. You want to do it. You've earned the right to do that. Right? Oh, hey, zombie. He sure is full of himself, ain't he? Hey, guys, did you know I'm acting like I'm some kind of coach just because I'm telling you the story of how I was brought up because my dad brought me up a certain way? How old are you, zombie? What are you, like 18? You live on social media. You sit in front of a computer all damn day. Keyboard jockey. Let's see if we can interrupt somebody's show. I made a clever comment. TLB says, my wife's a recently retired kindergarten teacher. I can't tell you how often she came home sobbing over children from broken homes. Yeah, I bet so. I bet that's tough, TLB. So I never did. I never did go to my dad and complain. And I just, I never really had a problem with Coach Hicks, but I did get jumped on a lot. And you know what I did? I would go out and I would do my thing. The point is, I'm telling my own story. Oh, you're 42. Wow. Well, you post like you're 18, zombie. But so I was able to separate, school and that experience with work, and it helps. It helps as you get a little older too. But I think a lot of people want to avoid trying to deal with problems. And I think that these parents that are getting involved with these programs are trying to step in all the time. So kids then feel like they have, they don't have authority from their coach. How can a coach coach them? You know what I'm saying? How can a coach have any influence if the parent's always stepping in? And that's what I hear from a lot of these coaches around here. All right. So that's the one thing that I take with me wherever I go. But everybody had a different experience. So I hope that we have less and less of these athletes who get up and don't want to be grateful for anything that they have. They want to get up there and just answer the question politically because they know the person asking it wants to hear that answer. That's all this is. So many people are brainwashed politically. They don't even know that they're it's bizarre. It's just so bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But I'm going to stand by it. The downfall of this country is centered around politics. It's centered around people that are choosing that over anything else. And that has been ushered on. The fans are being flamed every day by the media, by social media, whatever it might be. Those fans are being flamed every day to create more and more. And it's a shame. It really is. It's a shame. But kudos to the women's hockey team. That was cool. Very cool that they were so happy and so proud to be representing the country. And again, it's sad that we have to sit here and we have to give someone an attaboy for wanting to represent the United States in the Olympics. Think about that statement for a second. Here's another statement of just idiocy. You ready for this? We talked about it yesterday with NCAA president Charlie Baker. Being the NCAA president, what does that equate to? Charlie Baker, of course, saying he is all for expanding the NCAA basketball tournament, and we want it to happen next year. What did we just say yesterday? We were talking about this. It's amazing. Everything we talk about shows up somewhere. So this will be the last year of the 68 teams. Enjoy filling out your bracket. Enjoy the first 4. And it's over after this year. I don't know how many teams they're going to go to. Many people are speculating it's going to jump all the way from 68 to 90. And, of course, it is really the last thing we have before it's absolutely ruined in sports. It's the best sporting event we have. And now, of course, because it has the letters NCAA in front of it, they're going to completely destroy that too. Hello, Jake from Australia. You realize we have 2 Australian subscribers, Jake? Why don't you make it 3? Subscribe, like, and share the channel. Tebow says best thing I ever did was stop watching the media, period. Yep. No question. I don't watch the news at all. Doing well, Jake. How are you, mate? I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to do an Australian accent. Not going to do it. What's up, Jacob? Jacob from India. Wow, this is cool. International vibe. This is great. My boss told me not to use company account to watch live streams, but here we are. Yeah, I don't either, Tebow. I don't watch it at all. I don't. It's all a lie. It's all contrived. It's all ridiculousness. Crazy. Jacob, we are in Southwest Virginia. About 40 miles. What do you think? 40, 45 miles from the Carolina border? Is that where we are when you're going down the mountain? I'll tell you one thing. When I do go out of the state that direction, I always stop at that North Carolina Welcome Center's rest area. I'll tell you that. Oh, yeah, in the United States. Sorry. Yeah. Big city, bright lights. Yes. 4 hours south of Washington, D.C. You know, when I go places and, I describe where we are, the best way. Yeah, no, I heard that is a good thing, too. Morris, they say when you get bots, that means you're getting the reach out. So maybe that's good. Maybe they've re-promoted us or something. But when I try to explain people where we are, from Radford, I go, do you know Virginia Tech? Oh, yeah. Blacksburg? Oh, yeah. We're about 20 minutes south of Blacksburg. We'll see you. Be good. Take care. Yeah, it's fine. And you know how to handle the bots. It's fine. They are what they are. Every stream that I watch, everything that I watch on YouTube, they get a lot of these folks have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers, and they get all sorts of bots. It's fine. I like that. 4 hours south of Washington, D.C. Morris says, Bill Foster, the coach. Man, what a great coach. He's a great dude, too. Bill Foster for Tech, what a great coach. He used to tell recruits Blacksburg's not the end of the world, but you can see it from here. He really was. I had the pleasure of interviewing him a couple times. He was a good dude, man. And a really good basketball coach. Really good basketball coach. Bill Foster was a real deal. Absolutely. 100%. Great guy. Oh, he's a great guy. Oh, great guy. Phil Elmassian, Mike Ashley, and Jen. Mike's in town. Mike was at the game last night. Mike had his French chapeau on last night. Mike was there. He came up to say hi before we started radio pregame. Then I don't see him the rest of the night. Then I just hear him at the end of the game walk around talking to people. I don't know where he went. But he's at the Highlander Hotel. He'll be doing his open mic today from the Highlander Hotel. I'm going to guess he's probably got a headache. Just a hunch. Maybe I'm wrong. Got a lot of compliments on all the shows. So it's interesting. We yesterday's show, and then Lauren Sisler, great stuff. Yeah, he is the mayor of Radford. He is. He just holds court wherever he goes. Mike Ashley. By the way, I want to say this. Speaking of football, rest in peace, Richie Hassan. Richie was a few years ahead of me in high school. Matter of fact, he played with Todd Grantham. We'll talk about Richie next week. But he passed away. He'd been battling cancer for a long time, and I just got that notice this morning. Very sad. Richie was a really good dude. Really good dude. So thoughts and prayers go out to Richie and his family. Horrible loss. Horrible loss. I know his wife a little bit. She's a great lady. So, did Bill Foster get $500 per appearance? That was before the show. No, and I guarantee you, he would not have charged me or wanted to charge me. These Olympians forget they got to come home at some point. Good luck, idiots. Ask Billie Eilish. Yeah, that hasn't gone very well for her, has it? Just I'll tell you what social media has unveiled. It's unveiled these celebrities for what they are. And I no longer have use for really any of them. That's why modern movies don't excite me when you see what the actors say and the things that they side with. Music changes. Everything changes when they go on social media and they just can't help themselves. And I don't know what they think they're accomplishing, because all they're really accomplishing is making sure that they lose money because they're going to drive away half the country. Morris says, Coach Foster was my client. Laughed at his quips. Oh, you got to be an honorary coach against St. Bonaventure. It's very cool. Ace Custis, absolutely. Oh, is there another Top Gun coming? Thank God for that movie. That saved cinema for a while. Tom Cruise, who's not one of the idiots that gets on social media. Why? Who you think you're influencing, I don't know. But good luck with that. So there's another Top Gun Maverick. I tell you what, I hated the original Top Gun. When we have Big Dog Pop that's going to debut this spring, we're going to get into all this. Could not stand Top Gun. Still don't like Top Gun. But, man, did I like Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick was a really good movie. Absolutely it was. Thunder says where the Canadians go wrong is by putting brown gravy from a jar on their fries in the South. When we do that in the South, we use good homemade sausage gravy. I don't know if you can put gravy on anything that doesn't make it better. The best part was getting the players through the tunnel at halftime. The chatter was obscene. How they kept those players apart is a miracle. Yeah, I didn't like. Didn't like it. Tebow, there you go. I've never seen any of the Top Gun flicks. And I did 10 years in the Navy. Yeah, I just don't like the first one. I just don't think it's a good movie. Yeah, Lynchburg Hellcats changed their name, colors and everything. Tootie. Yeah. You know how that rebrand went in Salem. Yeah, no doubt. Robert Duvall was one of the good ones, Prometheus. Yep, a lot of great roles. Good actor. Good actor. What was he in his 90s? Good for him, man. What a great life. Good actor. Iceman was so good. I mean, I've seen it since then, and I still just go, I mean, that movie doesn't hold up. He needed a better love interest, too. That would have helped. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Tebow, for your service. There you go. From one sailor to another. Morris and Tebow, thank you both. That's why you're awesome people. Awesome people. Oh, this is cool. So Todd Grantham sent me a shot. This is a shot right now. They're getting ready to go out and get the team ready. Look at the Blazers indoor practice. You won't be able to see that at all, will you? That's cool. Anyway, that's pretty cool. And it's probably similar to what Virginia Tech's doing, so it's kind of cool. And I'm letting Todd know about Richie in case he didn't know. Yeah, Wayne has mentioned that there was something. What is that connection with Robert Duvall and Virginia Tech? I know he came to a game, and he and Frank Beamer knew each other pretty well. I don't know what started that. Was it a movie research or something like that, Wayne? But yeah, he did. There's pictures of Coach Beamer and Robert Duvall there in the Jamerson Center. Yeah, absolutely. It started with God and Generals and Professional James Robertson. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, he was in so many good roles. He never did a bad role. I love him in The Godfather. I think I liked him in everything. He was the best part of Days of Thunder. By the way, Days of Thunder. Okay, so the next time we have Marty on, back when we started the show, Marty was reporting for NASCAR.com. He was not yet at ESPN. As a matter of fact, the first thing he ever did broadcast-wise was with me on the show. And we would get into Days of Thunder. And he would say, dude, how in the world did he get that dirty in the car? He goes, Rick, we're not covering dirt track racing. I got to get Marty to tell that story. Yeah, if you can see Days of Thunder and see what was his name? Cole Trickle, a play on Dick Trickle. And he gets out of the car. He's filthy. It's like he's been rolling around in the mud for an hour and a half instead of driving around Daytona. Terrible movie. All right, and get ready. You're going to lambaste me? You ready? I've never thought Nicole Kidman's attractive at all. That was his love interest. I think they got married after that movie. I know. Go ahead. If you're a Nicole Kidman person, throw it at me. So these are the kind of things we're going to get into on Big Dog Pop. Yeah. Yeah, Clint Eastwood, The Outlaw Josie Wales. Man, I love that movie. So good. Dirty Harry. Well, you have to ask yourself. Oh, man, what a great character. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? God, so good. Hey, we've got Antarctica. Add that. Subscribe, Neo. You'll be the 14th country to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, Clint Eastwood's an all-timer. An all-timer. Julia Roberts. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, Tebow. Yes, he is. He never turned to the Hollywood vibe. Bunch of idiot adult pretenders thinking we give a damn about their blatantly obvious political sightings. Not okay. Let's go back to that era. So we're talking. Who was it for me? We're talking about major actresses at the time. I'll tell you one. I'll tell you. You may not even remember her. But does anybody remember Rachel Ward? Remember her? She was in Against All Odds. And then a lot of other things, too. I was a big fan of Rachel Ward. Let's see if I can find Rachel Ward. I'm sure I can. You know how much fun Big Dog Pop's going to be? It'll be a lot more unfiltered, too. Rachel Ward. Well, there's a lot of great shots of her, but I'm going to show you one that won't get me in trouble. Here you go. Well, no, she looks like that's too young. I'm trying to find her. Anyway, she was Against All Odds. I liked her. Julia Roberts, okay. Oh, Selma's the all-timer. We're all. Selma is number one and will always be number one. We're not. This is beyond Selma's conversation. This is. I mean, she understands. We're just having a conversation about. Yeah, there's no competition for Selma. Zero. Trust me. Do you need more proof? I can, anytime you want proof, I can supply more proof. But you can try to tell me that there's someone, but you're going to be wrong. Every time you're going to be wrong. Linda Carter, yeah, Wonder Woman. Although she has decided to go into the anti-United States commentary recently, which is very disappointing. Oh, here goes Wayne with Poison again. Every rose has its thorn. The song that doesn't rhyme that they were able to get away with. Oh, I'll tell you. Oh, I almost forgot. Here you go. You ready? Jacqueline Smith and Cheryl Ladd. Here's something that Wayne's going to disagree with because I know his all-timer is Farrah Fawcett. And this isn't dissing Farrah Fawcett at all. But Cheryl Ladd on Charlie's Angels, Jacqueline Smith were, I think, far and above Farrah Fawcett. Yeah, Linda Carter she just needs to go away. Yeah, some of the things she said, you just go, really, really. Brett Michaels lost me when he went on VH1 looking for love. We're giving like a preview of Big Dog Pop. All right. Who's the best hairband of all time? I know Wayne's going to say Poison. Who's the best hairband? That's a loaded question, man. Don't say Guns N' Roses because they're a true rock and roll band. I'm not going to put Guns N' Roses in that category. Guns N' Roses is an all-timer. So I'm going to separate Guns N' Roses. I know people are going to say GNR, but I'm not going to count Guns N' Roses because I think Guns N' Roses goes beyond just being a hairband. Hairbands are like Poison, Cinderella, Motley Crue. Oh, Rat. Rat, yes. That's a great call right there, Tebow. Round and Round. No, I don't think Van Halen's not a hairband either. They're a legitimate rock and roll staple. Yeah, Rat. Yeah, the Crew. Yeah, Brian, Motley Crue, but they were terrible people. Yeah, they really were. Yeah. Round and Round. Still gets it done. Rubbing is racing, Big Dog. God, Days of Thunder is a terrible movie. It's not terrible to where I won't watch it. I watch it because it is terrible. And I like Tom Cruise. Whitesnake. David Coverdale was married to Tawny Katane, the redhead you see sliding on the front of the car. Cinderella. Absolutely. Yeah, we're just talking the hairband era. I'm gonna kick out Guns N' Roses. They're too good for hairband status. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, Whitesnake's a good answer. Skid Row. Tesla. We've gotten into Wayne's wheelhouse right now. What's up, okay, Maine? Thank you. Thanks. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome. Yeah, the Whitesnake video, Tawny Katane in that video. I'm gonna date myself, Maine. I like OG rap music. I'm not big on a lot of it today. No. I mean, I'm not offended by it. I hear it all the time around our basketball team. It's fine. I don't. But no, not really the new stuff. Not really the new stuff. No, that's really cool. So if you can see this video, well, I don't know if it's going to work. Todd has that's them. See it moving? That's their field house this morning. They're getting ready to have a little walk through and workout. See that? How cool is that? Can y'all see that okay? That's UAB getting ready to start their morning workout routine. That's cool. That's an awesome facility, man. They're playing basketball. Yeah. 2 Live Crew, NWA. NWA was good. You're right. Public Enemy. Run DMC. I mean, I still like Rapper's Delight, man. I do. Grandmaster Flash. Stuff like that. Absolutely. Morris goes to Montrose talking about hairbands. Break dancing. Yeah. Yeah, Wayne's World. The Bohemian Rhapsody scene in Wayne's World got that song back into the mainstream. And they do, they go through all they had Freddie Mercury was on his deathbed and was really sick. And they had shown him about a year ahead of time what they wanted to do with that. And he signed off on that. Sammy Hagar, yeah, in Montrose. That's right. Yeah, it's about all we can do with the old request show, Prometheus, since we can't play the music or I'll get dinged. It's Christmas time in Hollis. Queen's mom's cooking chicken and collard greens run. DMC. Yes, sir. I'm a Fuller. What do you like, Maine? Are you down with the new stuff? I'm not. But hey, to each their own. It's if you like it, that's great. I mean, it's great. You like what you like. There's only two things that you're wrong if you like them. One, if you prepare steak any other way than medium rare, you're wrong. Secondly, if you eat vegetables, you're wrong. If you sit down for a nice plate of broccoli and Brussels sprouts, I got no use for you. Yeah, those were great Fridays. That turned into just something that I started to do, and then it blew into. I think I could have done the whole show on Friday just based on the music. We never got to all the requests. We had so many. And that was the first thing that I looked up. That was the first thing that I looked up. And then I read all the rules. And I realized, we can't do the music on the new YouTube show. And it was very disappointing. You know what? It bothered me so much, I almost didn't do the show. Can we cover the vegetables and cheese and bacon? Yes, Brian, that helps. That helps. It does. Anyway, that's great stuff. Todd's showing us the workout. Joining us now on the program. First of all, I'm going to say this. By the way, Coach Elmo, how are you? Good morning. Happy Friday.
How we doing, Rick?
I'm told that you do still have a job. You are still employed.
You know this, Rick. The worst feeling in the world is like when you're married in this silence, right? And like with my mother, when I grew up, my mother, when she wouldn't say a word, scared the crap out of me. So now I haven't heard a damn thing from her. I haven't heard anything. Jesus, I got fired again.
No, he did talk about you Monday, and they're working out this morning. He's been showing me really cool shots of what they're going to do. So it's kind of cool. Nice facilities down there.
Yeah, they do. They have good facilities. And of course they play at Old Legion Field. That's their home.
Yeah.
Stadium.
How cool is that, man?
That was really cool. I remember when I was at Virginia in '87, there was a bowl, the All-American Bowl was in Birmingham. And we played BYU in Legion Field. And that was so cool. Just the history, of the Iron Bowl and Alabama teams, Auburn teams going in there. And so that was one of my great memories in coaching, be able to go to Legion Field and walk on that field where a lot of great players had been. We ended up beating BYU that year too. I called It's funny, the mystique of Brigham Young, throwing the football, passing the football back in the mid 80s when it was still a heavy run game. And Jimmy Grobe, who was coaching at Air Force for years, and we had played together at Ferrum. And so I called Groby up. I said, Groby, I said, tell me about BYU. Give me, you guys play them every year. A couple of things. He said, Phil, better stop the run. I get it with the pass game, but if they can, they will want to run the ball on you. And if they do, you're looking at a 500-yard plus day. It'll be that the old WAC conference, where a 300 to 400-yard day, a total offense was not good enough in that conference to win. And then he said, and let me say this, he said, these guys go on missions. They're going to be strolling in there. You're playing 24, 25-year-old men, and they got families. They're going to be coming in with their strollers and their children and their wives. It's like a semi-pro outfit. He goes, and then here's the thing you got to really contend with. They got permission from God to kick your ass.
Didn't they say something similar about Notre Dame with touchdown Jesus?
Yeah.
Something about that too. That's great.
That Notre Dame bring all the priests with them, and it's like no chance.
Yeah. Hey, people in chat are asking, Coach, what is your most memorable team? Do you have team that stands out, your favorite? Now, that's got to be a tough question for you because you've been around so many good teams. But is there one that stands out to this day when you think about it? You just kind of smile, the guys or what you accomplished?
Well, because when you're thinking of the team, you're thinking of all these players that provided great moments. And right now, for me, being retired, memories are endless. I've been so lucky to be. That 93 Virginia Tech team was so special to me from where they came from, how that went about. There was no portal, there was no NIL, had to do it within the roster. Coach Helch hope I can remember these things now. In turning programs around, he said one of three things have to happen. Your seniors have to be playing at their best. And if not, you've got to be ready to delete from the team. And then you got to be ready to add to the team. And the only way you could add was with a maybe junior college player, and you could only get one or two a year, most programs. Or you had to do it with incoming freshmen, or internally within the roster, finding players within that roster who maybe had not played, but had enough talent and were tired of losing. But that announcement, when it was announced after that Syracuse game that we were going to the Independence Bowl, you literally had thought we were just invited to the Super Bowl with those players. That in that meeting room, I'll never forget it. And I think you could bring Dave Brain on. You could talk to Frank. You could talk to Bud. You could talk to Todd. That moment is still in my mind. We'll never leave it because it was special.
Yeah. And then, of course, what it became after that, too. That was the budding, right? That's the buds on the tree that started the whole thing. Got the whole train rolling right there in 19.
Yeah, well, there were some really special players. We had William Yarborough was a walk-on corner for us that played great kid. He's had a smile on his face all the time. And Torian Gray and Lawrence Lewis and Hank Coleman and Waverly Jackson, and Jeff Holland, on and on and on. And, sprinkling in some freshmen there and George Del Rico, J.C. Price. It was an amazing group. And, if I'd done this today, I'd be thrown in jail. We full padded Monday through Thursday. We did full pads Monday through Thursday. Now, we didn't have them long. I learned this, Rick, that I liked short practices. I hated long practices.
That's what Signetti just said. Yeah.
Hated it. I had a philosophy, Rick, the more time you have, the more time you get to waste. More is less. The more time you have, the less you get done. You end up more talking than you do coaching.
Yeah.
Well, I like the short practices because, that clocks, you can't have but so many timeouts in the game. You're on the clock. The toughest opponent you have in this business is not who you're playing, it's time. It's the toughest. It's the toughest opponent you got. It's the fight within the fight. And so who's using the time efficiently? The best. It's practice harder, practice smarter, the combination of the two. And that's what I did. I never kept players in a body of work for more than 4 plays. In other words, the first team would get 4, the second team would get 3, and I'd even give the third string guys a couple of shots because I wanted the mentality of a 3-and-out mentality. I hated keeping players in a body of work and practice for 5, 6, 7, 8 plays. And a lot of people would say, well, what happens if they get an 8-play drive on them? I go, not my problem. They screwed the third downs up. Okay. I'm not coaching for the 8th play. Let's go 3-and-out, punt. And we wanted that mentality of a 3-and-out mentality and get the job done at the most important time. And that's right now. I've had players come in my office as coach. I didn't get enough reps. I go, well, what'd you do with the ones you got?
There you go.
What'd you do with them? I mean, I got to the point where I'm saying, I don't need 2 more reps to find out whether you're ready to perform or not. Just give me 1, give me 2. And give me the best 2 you got. And let's go. That's
you can see 1 or 2 and know, okay, he's good to go. He's ready.
Yeah, I need 10.
Yeah, right. Right.
You're going to give me 2 out of 10, and no. So that's what I would always, when they would come in and say, I'm not getting enough reps, I would say, well, what'd you do with the ones you had? Let's get the film up. Let's
Can you let me ask you, I know it's probably a silly question, but you go back then, you didn't have the portal, but how can you compare what James Franklin's trying to do now? Because Tech's coming from a really bad place. They were coming from a really bad place when you got there. I know he's got the portal and money. It's different, but in some ways, the incentive's got to be similar, doesn't it? In some ways?
Well, once you're in the building or on campus and you step into that building, well, obviously the portal to me is you're on campus, so you're a Virginia Tech football player. You're out of the portal. You're on campus. It's
right.
It's the choice you made. So, I don't want to see you wearing any other thing but Virginia Tech gear when you walk in this building or even around the campus. If I ever catch you wearing another, back in the day in the 93, I think our players in 1992, Virginia Tech wore more Miami stuff than they did Virginia Tech stuff because they wanted to be Miami. Right. That's one of the first things that we addressed. That no, we're going to be Virginia Tech, but I think what Coach right now, I'm sure he's, like I said, you go back to what he did at Vanderbilt. I'd like to believe that blueprint of how turning Vanderbilt around is probably a very similar blueprint. Nick Saban had a blueprint that every year was the great coaches. Their blueprints don't change. Now you'll adjust on your way because every circumstances are different. But the basic blueprint, Coach Holtz, Nick Saban, Bill Dooley, Joe Tiller, Barry Alvarez, that the first 10 pages don't change. And maybe you can add an addendum to it, or there comes a page 11 and page 12. But here's the basis of the blueprint. And that never changed. The fundamentals of development. And I'll put myself, I don't know what Coach Franklin's doing. I know what I've been around. And the very first thing was the power of one-on-one. I think I'd like to believe, this is what I'd like to believe, that their coaches are visiting with their players, assistants, one-on-one. And I had at Virginia Tech, when I got there, I told Bud, Todd, and all these guys, all the assistants, I said, because this was a Syracuse rule, and it was a great situation to learn about the players. Every Friday, the players had to come by the office before the weekend, whether they were going home, staying at campus, didn't matter. They had to sit down. Every player had to sit down with their position coach for at least 20 minutes, and there was absolutely no football conversation. None. And you know, how's your family? And I would have them fill out an academic performance sheet of what transpired the week, and then what was going to be expected of you the following week, what exams you're going to have, what quizzes you're going to have, what papers you need to write. And they would have filled that out. So that was one of the first things. And I would ask them questions. How'd you compete in the classroom? Give me a 1 to 10. Were you competitive in the classroom on a scale of 1 to 10? Did you compete? That doesn't mean you have to be talking, but did you go there with a competitive mind, you know, to learn?
Sure.
And most those things, and we got to learn a lot. You get to learn a lot about players. You know, next thing you know, I'm at Syracuse. I found there was one player I had. He had a child, had a baby. You know, they weren't married, but they had a girl. They had a baby, and that's a whole different world now.
Yeah,
I told them,
right.
Well, you're 19, going on 30. So,
yeah,
you know, and you find you probe. And don't ask the yes/no questions. You ask the who, what, why, when, where, and how questions about their families. You got brothers, you got sisters. Tell me about your family. You know, just those are the things I think where you really get your bonds of dealing with players.
And you know what? The three best basketball coaches I've ever worked for and with, Ron Bradley at Radford, Mike Jones at Radford, Bonnie Hendrickson at Virginia Tech, all had that same philosophy, coach. They didn't want to sit down and talk to the players about basketball. I never heard Coach Jones around team meal talking about, but he just wanted to talk to them about their lives. And there were some guys who had children and family and at school. And it's funny you say that, because all three of them had that in common. Bonnie and Coach Bradley and Mike, they all have that. It's interesting. Yeah. You know, that they care more about that. Yeah, it's true.
Well, the thing, it's like what I wanted on the football field, I did it going through a back door. I back channeled what I expected on the football field, because the one thing about the academics, which to this day, I still think if you don't hammer, if you have an apathetic academic football player, you're going to have an apathetic football player.
Yeah.
Period. The decisions you make off the field will have a big correlation of your on-field decision making. It's not you don't. Oh, he's a great hard worker, great kid on the field, but off the field his decisions are terrible. They don't work that way. Your off-field decisions that are in. Because everything you do comes under one umbrella. I had one rule: protect your football team.
Yeah.
Protect the team. And so going to class is protecting the team. Not going to class, you're not protecting your team.
That's right. Good point.
And those are the issues. And I think Coach Franklin, with his Vanderbilt experience, you know, when you get, you know, having gone to William Mary, having coached at William Mary, having coached at the University of Virginia, and not just saying that these other schools aren't great academic schools, but the academic challenges. I know at William Mary, I'm sitting to the left of I'm sitting in that biology class, and to my left, there's 1,500 on the SAT, and to the right, there's 1,400 on the SAT, and they're all valedictorians. And here I am. So it's not what's being taught, it's what you're competing against. You know, what the hell?
Yeah.
Math. 1 + 1 is 2. I mean, 2 + 2 is 4. Math is math is math. It's now you're setting this competitive dog-eat-dog academic world. You know, when I walked in, I got a standing ovation because they know that the curve would be adjusted.
All right. Coach Owens here. Yeah.
But,
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, but, you know, I think what Coach Franklin, you know, I'm sure visiting with the players one-on-one, getting to know them, especially the portal kids. I look at the portal kids to me would be like freshmen. They'd all be freshmen to me in my eyes. That's how I would approach it.
Yeah.
You're just like a freshman to me. I don't care if you're a senior, you've been in your fifth, you know, today maybe your 5th year of college, going on your 6th. I would approach you like a freshman, and to a point in terms of me getting to know them and what makes them tick. And academics was always one of the better ways to challenge them because it's their control. You get to that point in football and, you know, you do a hard truth and that player doesn't necessarily agree with what you're how you evaluate him. Well, he's going to have a lot of ears. Girlfriend's going to listen to him. Mom and dads today are going to listen to him. Their high school coaches are going to listen to him. And you're the bad guy.
Yeah, you're the bad guy. Right.
All of a sudden, you are keeping my son from being an NFL player. You know, blah, 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 blah. And normally, usually, Rick, and this is my experiences, the better the student, the better the player.
I wonder if that's still going to be true today. I wonder how much academics,
you know, because of today more than ever before, I would hold it that way. At least if I was a defensive back coach, there's no defensive back's going to play for me. That's not going to have a not necessarily the grade. I could care less about the grade. I don't care if it's an A, B, or C. I care what they represent, what grades represent. So you're telling me you want a B average coach? You want a coach that makes D's?
Right.
That's what you want? You're okay with that? Because I'm not okay with this. And it didn't matter about the grade. It's what the grade represented. Where's the discipline? Where's the more importantly, where's the accountability? You know, to you and your family, and your future and the people that you know care about you the most. And so those are the things that I think in the off season to establish your foundation of your expectation on the field is you challenge them with the off-field decision making that they're fully accountable for. You know what I always used to say, what athletic director is going to call you in and say, hey, look, I just got a call from so-and-so's parents. You're on their ass academically. You got to back off.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, you're not going to hear that. Yeah.
Never. You go ahead and fire me, please. Make my day. So, you know, so I did the things that they had absolute control over. Because football, there is no control. They have you can't control who's in front of you, who's behind you. All you can control is what you're doing right now. And those are the type of people you want. And I'm sure Coach Franklin, his Vanderbilt experiences particularly, I'm sure, I really believe you're getting that. I think you're going to get that.
You ready for a Coach Elmo brag? Wayne found a blurb about you. He says, at Wisconsin from 97 to 99, where Coach Elmassian was in charge of the secondary, the Badgers achieved top national rankings in scoring defense, first place in 1998. That defense allowed just 10.2 points per game. And in 99, just 12.8 points. Wow. Really? You didn't allow two touchdowns per game? Jeez,
it was special. Well, back then, Rick, when it was 11 defenders versus 10 offensive guys, the quarterbacks weren't accountable in your defense to running the ball. I was one hell of a football coach. When it went to 11 on 11, I'm out of here.
Yeah, you're out. You're done.
You can't crap the 12th guy. They won't let you play with 12. She always had the one man advantage. And it was a, that was another great challenging, I heard Todd talk about, going to schools that he loved the challenge that was presented to him in terms
like
of
now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'm paying you to do. Okay. We need improvement. We need to be better, whether it's positionally or if you're a coordinator now as a total unit. And that was the one thing that I just loved about the business of coaching football, was going into situations that were extremely challenging and being able to turn it around. And the bottom line is finding the right people, not the best people, finding the right people. You got to find the right people. You got to find your William Yarboroughs and your Scott Jones. Scott Jones was from Bristol, Virginia, was a 5th-year senior walk-on. Been there going on his 5th year as a walk-on. And, they graduated kids and this and that, and he thinks he's going to automatically start in the spring. And I said, no way. I said, there's no such thing as automatic. There's no such thing next in line. You got to earn it. And I had a freshman I wanted to see in front of him. He never quit. He could have quit. He would have quit. Today, they'd have, not because of him, because of the outside influences, they'd have quit. And he stuck it out. I started Larry Green the first game, and then Larry got hurt. And he started, then Scott Jones was his backup, and he started and never lost his position.
There you go.
And we had Tyrone Draper, 2nd-round draft choice. He was voted, Scott Jones was voted the most valuable defensive back that 93 year. And he was a 5th-year senior walk-on. And you talk about gratifying from a coaching perspective. Those are the moments that just really, you say, okay, yep, you did good.
That had to be a great feeling. A 5th-year walk-on like that performance. That's cool.
I had 2 of them. Eric Hayes was another one in 85, 5th-year senior walk-on. Biochemistry major at Virginia Tech. That was the difference. Both kids were over 3.0s. They were on over 3.0s. But Eric Hayes was biochemistry at Virginia Tech. And I love smart guys. I'll give you one quick story, Rick. I think you'll appreciate this. I love smart guys. I call them problem solvers. Guys that take information, process it, done. Steel trap mind. I'm at Purdue. Joe Tiller. You'd have loved Joe Tiller.
Yeah.
You'd have loved him.
Yeah.
This man never left the 60s. Okay?
Yeah.
He never left the 60s. All right? But he was an old offensive lineman and line coach and very unassuming, but just wonderful, wonderful human being. He comes in, I don't know if we had just beaten Notre Dame or I can't remember the sequence, but we had a really good football team. And he comes in my office, closes the door on a Friday. I think we're playing Arizona, whatever. He says, I don't like your backup safety. I said, well, Coach, I don't either. What the hell? Where's this conversation going? I said, Coach, I don't. He goes, look. He goes, Stu Schweigert, who was a 2nd or 3rd round draft, All-American, all-conference safety. Great player at Purdue. He said, I've got to suspend him for a game. Because he had some summer public drunken thing, and so he had to suspend him for a game. And at that time, Penn State was 2 weeks away, and they were not very good. They were not a good football team. So he said, look, I got to suspend him, and I'm gonna do it for the Penn State game. He said, this is no kidding, Rick. This is factual. He goes, on Sunday, we would practice on Sunday. There's Sunday, I'm going to give you 3 quarterbacks. 3 quarterbacks. You pick the guy you want and get ready to start against Penn State. So went through the one kid, great athlete, loved the red shirt, probably the best athlete of all of them, but I picked the slowest, smartest of all of them. This kid was a walk-on quarterback. I think he was either second or third string. They scholarshiped him. His last name was Smith. I'll try to remember his first name before it's over with. And I picked him. So in 2 weeks, he's the number 2 safety. We're practicing him like he was going to be starting from day one. And he was a 3.8 student at Purdue, which is academically was a great school, challenging school. We had smart guys. You had to be. You won't make it there. And next thing you know, he starts for us, and we beat Penn State with that kid. I had 2 weeks. This kid's never played defense in his life. And Brock Spack was the D coordinator, and that game plan never changed, never wavered. It was everything. And when I got to Purdue, I brought Brock was not a big man cover guy, big blitz guy, and I brought a lot of the Virginia Tech stuff to Purdue that year, and because we had great players. We played a lot of man coverage at that time, and but he was the free safety, but you talk about gratifying. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So I've always told coaches, don't tell me you can't get a kid ready to play.
Yeah.
I had 2 weeks to get a quarterback that's never played defense in his life. And then the next year, he was a full-time starter.
That's awesome.
On a really good Purdue team. I had left. Awesome. I went to Nebraska.
That's cool. That's so cool. Well, as always, Coach, it's great, man. I love hearing all this stuff, and appreciate you jumping on here on a Friday. It's raining outside. I hope you stay dry wherever you are. We got poured down rain.
Raining here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the challenges today are in football are but I still think I'd like to believe, and Rick, I don't know. No is K-N-O-W. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But I'd really like to believe, and not that it's old school or the old way, there's still ground roots of relationship between coaches and players. And if you're doing nothing but challenging their football decision-making and their football skills and talents, that to me, that'd be boring. I mean, I think the off-field relationships that you have and establish with the player, and I always started with academics. I wanted the B student to be the A student. I wanted and then when I got to the D's and F's, we're not doing this. What's the reason for it? I need to know. I need to find out. And you know what, Rick? It's not, if they are not doing well academically or they're ineligible, well, we brought them here.
That's right. That's right.
And you go back to the high school. What would kill me is if you got a kid with 1100 SAT and a great student, and all of a sudden he comes to college and he's got like a 1.8. I got a box full of letters that I've kept from parents thanking me for the academic challenges and some of these players that had 1.7s, 1.8s, 1.9s, all of a sudden they flip it and get 3.0s. Well, it's amazing that they're playing.
Yeah.
They're starting.
Yeah.
Or
it goes hand in hand. Used to go
amazing.
Hand in hand. Yeah.
Oh, I got plenty of, if we went to the court of football, I got plenty of evidence. Academics and athletics go hand in hand in terms
of defense rests, Coach
who the people are, who are they, what are they made of, what's important to them.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
All right, Rick.
All right,
that was fun. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
I will, man. You too, Coach. We'll talk to you.
Hey, I'm going to listen to the rest of the show and see if Jen's going to play that saxophone.
I know, right?
You got everybody on pins and needles.
I know, right? We're waiting. We're waiting, Jen. I know. All right, bro.
Have a good one, buddy.
All right, man. You too. All right. There you go. Coach Elmo here on the program. Good stuff. That was a great stats, Wayne. How about that? Coach Elmo. Jeez Louise. 10.1 points per game. It seems impossible. And then 12 points per game. Wow. Yeah, it was good, huh? Pretty good. Hit us up, Subscribe, like, and share the channel. Mike Ashley, open mic. He's at the Highlander Hotel. I hope his stuff works. Yeah, how good was that guy? He was a big part of Virginia Tech. Turning the corner there. Bud Foster still talks about Phil Elmassian all the time. Like, just say the name Phil Elmassian around, and you can't get him to stop. Ah, what a great time. Great people, too. Man. But, yeah, the great coaches that stand out to me never mentioned basketball around them. I hope people realize, I know where Virginia Tech basketball, women's basketball went under Kenny Brooks, but I hope people realize that was, well, Carol Alfano was very good, but Bonnie Hendrickson is absolutely, I mean, she's one of the most brilliant coaches I've ever been around. I hope people understand how good Bonnie Hendrickson was. I'm going to get Bonnie on here. I learned a lot from her. I still think about watching her practices and how she taught, and man, she was so good. I hope people understand that. I think looking back, if Jim Weaver were still with us, he would say one of the biggest mistakes he made was letting her get away. That team, that time, and the things she taught wasn't just because it was women's basketball. I mean, it was basketball. Just an unbelievable coach. And she's, I think today when you look at it, you'd have to rank her of all the sports in the history of Virginia Tech athletics. You'd have to put Bonnie Hendrickson in your top 10 of all-time coaches. There's no question. And look, Megan's doing a great job. This isn't comparing that. But I got to get Bonnie on here. Yeah, I will. I got to reach out to Bonnie. She'll come on. She's came on the radio show. We'll get her on. And we'll talk about those teams and her career. But, man, she was so good. So good. Mike Ashley going to join us here at some point. I sent him the invite. I wonder if he's up. And let's see if he's with us. Told you. My goal here soon is to get, now I still call her Coach Bonnie because that's what I call her. Coach Bonnie and the Spoon on the show. What I'd like to do is get Coach Bonnie, the Spoon, and Amy Wetzel all on the show. That's what I want to do. And I'll just sit back and just shut up and watch and enjoy that too. That's my goal here soon. I don't know if Mike's awake. Mike may not have woken up. We'll give him a few more minutes here. Hit us up in our chat room or on the professional door text line. Thanks to Family Fencing for sponsoring our studios here in Ryder, 540-200-8294. Thanks to Jason Green. The snow is gone. Time to come out and get your yard sized up. I'm going to hit him up, I believe, this spring. Just because I like Jason that much, I just want to hang around him. McClellan Chiropractic Clinic, right off of Walters Drive, Mark Hundley. We're going to go over there and do our thing coming up here in March. Going to happen in March. Pulaski County Sports Entertainment, the presenting sponsor of this program. Little River Heating and Air, Charles Lee, 540-553-2971. National Bank, member FDIC, exclusive banking partner of this program. Professional Door Incorporated, Travis Williams and Company, 38 years in business, residential, commercial garage doors. ReadySetFund.com, thanks to Bob Christ. ReadySetFund.com to raise money for your organization or your team. NRB Super Bowl, Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, and the attorney Ryan Propp. Yeah. joining us now on the program. Is that bad? Mike Ashley from the Highlander Hotel. What's up, brother? Good morning.
Good morning, pal. Good seeing you guys last night.
Last night you swept in. I saw you before. I was getting ready to start radio pregame, and then I don't see you the rest of the game. And then there you are at the end holding court. Where did you go? Where did you just watch the game?
I went over to some good blue seats. Plenty of good seats still available. Way too often there, but I just wanted to see the game a little bit more. The real story is I was all set. I had my credentials and everything to come to the Big South tournament, but stuff's come up in the family that I'm not going to be able to be there. So I said, hey, I might not get to see these guys play again this year. So here I am. So that was what that was all about. And I thought I was going to get baseball today, but then they've rearranged the schedule. So I think I'm going to have to head back home, but it's all good. Well, I got my deep morning. I'm Lou Rawls this morning. And I'm at this desk here in the Highlander. I'm right up against the wall. The TV's right here, so I had to turn it off because I would be going like this.
I see it.
This desk I feel like John Belushi on Weekend Update. I just want to go fall over, but I'm not going to do that.
Wasn't the best game to read the Highlanders? They were without Jalen Johnson and Gardner Webb. They're 3-26. But what did you think of the game last night?
We've got some talent. I mean, my gosh,
the big three is the big three. Yeah.
The way basketball is, particularly at our level, it's getting harder and harder to put these things in perspective in a historical timeline. Because it seems like everybody's a one and done. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the year. I don't have any inside information, but I tell you, we got a couple of guys that can help us win any game against anybody at our level in our league. And, are the kind of guys that get like Parker, breaking the school scoring record. He's a guy that can get hot and carry you. And, that's the profile of teams that if they do get to the NCAA tournament, which is a big if, you actually could have a little success. We do a lot of things well, and I just don't feel we've reached anywhere close to our ceiling because I think there's a lot of things we don't do well right now, and we still seem to be winning games. So hats off to the coaching staff for holding this whole thing together this year in kind of a strange season. And, we got a puncher's chance. More than that, really, come to the Big South tournament, I think, because I think we are among – from what I've seen on your broadcast and things, one of the 2 or 3 most talented teams in the league.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's High Point, Winthrop, and us. I mean, I think that's what it's going to come down to. There's no doubt there might be somebody else to sneak in there.
What did they do last night? How about Asheville?
Got absolutely throttled by High Point. Embarrassed. They had 29 points at the under 8 media time out of the second half.
So High Point's getting healthy, huh?
Yeah, and Radford's got to walk down to Asheville tomorrow, so we'll see. That's going to be it. If Radford wins that game, they'll be the 3 seed. So,
it's not a good time to catch them, and after the big loss to Camp Mohawk.
Hey, did you see where Charlie Baker's going to destroy the absolute last thing that was wholesome in sports, the NCAA tournament? He came out yesterday, said it will change. It's going to change next year. We're done with 68 teams.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Nice job. Actually, I'm more shocked. Tell me if you know anything about this. I saw a scroll this morning about the Chicago Bears moving to Indiana.
The Bears are leaving Illinois. They have god-awful leadership there or lack thereof, and they're sick of it. And they've been warning them, and they finally got denied too many times for the stadium. And Indiana says, here you go. Come see us. Wow. And they're going to be the Indiana Bears. How about that? Nice job, Chicago. Yeah. Nice job. Yeah, nice job. And then the mayor or whatever he was looked like a total idiot yesterday up there. Just good Lord. But anyway, yeah, how about that's going to change, is it? No longer the Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers. Hey, who do you play this week, Green Bay? Indiana.
Well, are you used to the Indianapolis Colts yet?
I know, right?
Grew up in the Mid-Atlantic, it's just not the same. The Baltimore Colts playing on dirt, And we like
baseball field. I know. I miss it. Yeah. I miss those old infields on those football fields when they shared stadiums, man. Jeez.
I know. Yes. Now you see the super slow motion in the new stadiums, and they hit that green stuff, and all that black stuff pops up.
I know.
I'm like, there's a cancer lawsuit coming. I know.
It's such a nice metaphor for how bad the NFL's gotten. It's so plastic and artificial. That's what the field surface is, and that's what the game is. But anyway, what's your open mic
true,
this
but
week?
If our teams were winning at all, we wouldn't be saying any of this. The greatest game ever.
Well, maybe we could. We'd be happy they're winning, but we would be upset about. But it's not the same. It's not the same.
You are true to your curmudgeon nature, my friend.
I am. I miss the old NFL. I miss what I love so much. I do. I miss grass. I miss green grass.
Good vibrations. Yeah.
Good vibration. I miss the old Texas Stadium where the way they would have the cutout up top, and then they'd have to adjust the tint on the camera when they'd get beyond the sun into the shadows. I miss all that stuff, man. Every time you watch the Cowboys game.
It was even beyond that. I don't know if other fans could do this, but I could look at any photo from the 70s into when they closed the stadium down, and the lighting was different. It was so different. You could always tell it was in Texas Stadium. You didn't have to see any background seats or anything. You could just tell for the gleam on the helmets and things like that. Yeah. But
I know.
Hey, here's a bad Mike Cowboys story. They lost the last game at Texas Stadium. It was I think it was a Sunday night game to. I know it was a night game, and I know it was on TV, and I know it was the Baltimore Ravens who just beat the crap out of them. I mean, the Cowboys kept scoring, as has become a tradition. They don't stop anybody, and they could not overtake the Ravens. And that night, I was so disgusted. I packed up all my Cowboy stuff into boxes and tucked it in the back of the of the basement.
Yeah. I've done that. I put away my Bronco hats. Yeah, I'm not wearing that crap. Yeah.
Yeah, and then by midsummer, I was back in the fold because hey, we had those big TV screens for replay.
That's right.
Then I got to go down to the new stadium, but it was one of the years that Tony Romo got hurt and was out. Who was the Kellen Moore? Little Kellen Moore came in. It's like take your son to work day. He was so small out there behind those linemen, and I saw them play the gosh awful Jets, who I now hate with a pitiless passion. I hate them because their fans were so obnoxious, cussing in this section that had all these children in it, and they do that stupid cheer, Jets, 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 Jets. So every time their drive stalled, I would go, I let it cheer, P-U-N-T, punt, punt, punt.
I love it. Of course you did. You did.
Another bad Mike story. That was the second loss in a row for me. Seeing the Cowboys live. Before that, I was 7-0 in live games, including some notable games, but we won't get into that. But I lost 2 in a row, and I have not been back. I'm so scared. Well, you pay all that money, and then you see your team lose. It's terrible. The other loss, by the way, was the Sean Taylor game, where that stupid kicker was a Vanderjack, had that kick blocked, and it got run all the way back to set up the field goal by the former Maryland kicker. I'm losing his name right now. Who I've seen play at Maryland, and he kicked the winning field goal and beat him. And I remember I grabbed a cop on the way out of the stadium because we were lining up to win the game with a field goal, and then we lost. And I grabbed the cop and I went, "Hey, we were robbed."
Mike Ashley's next call from jail, honey.
Yes, it was not.
No. What's your open mic this week? You got 2 weeks to prepare. Okay. By the way, how did you get over your illness? Okay, you looked good last night. Everything good? You were feeling pretty bad last week, I know. So.
Yeah, the thing in my throat, and I didn't want to get up and Get up that early, taking cold medicine. But
I
yeah,
understand.
cleared up.
No, I get it.
I got my good voice. But
you sounded like hell, I'll tell you. But anyway.
Open mic this week. I had to rewrite the whole dang thing after I got back here last night because I was gonna blast the Olympics in the coverage. I knew you would probably enjoy that. The prepackaged fluff pieces, and here's another thing the internet has ruined because we all know the results going into these things at night usually. Although I did not know what was going on in skating, and when I got home, I got to admit I got caught up in Alyssa Liu's what a performance. I don't know if you saw it, Rick, but it was so I've never seen anybody have that much fun during the skating program, and the fact that she had taken time off and come back and won the goal, and nobody saw that coming, and I just thought that was a real true to life great story right there, and I got fired up. And then you get hockey highlights from the women pulling out that game late, which I didn't see. So yeah, the Olympics turned around on one night, but that's not what I'd written.
That's okay.
Because I was down about Lindsey Vohn's noble comeback attempt that didn't work out, and I was reminded by a friend of mine, Ken Brickey, smartest man in Roanoke, who once told me that the Olympics athletes' ages are like dog years. Lindsey Vohn's 41, but that's 80 in Olympic years.
Yeah.
You don't usually come back like that. And then of course locally, Fairfax, we had that kid Ilya Malinin, who just literally fell on his face when he was expected to win goal, and that had me down. And I just want to say to him, here's the too much food dude telling the quad god that he'll be at the World Championships in March, and we'll hear nothing about that after all this skating falderall, and that's the way it goes. Every 4 years is when it's like locusts. The ice skating comes back.
Like locusts.
Yeah, I was going to say something bad about curling, but too many people, too many old men our age yell at me when I criticize curling. They like it. So
it's terrible. It's terrible. No, it's terrible.
Right. Who wants to watch it on TV? But Rick, as you know, I've had too many DNPs here on Friday mornings lately, so I wanted to catch up with some other sports headlines that I haven't had a chance to comment on.
DNP, I like that.
Everybody knows what that is, right? Did not play.
Did not play. Coach's decision.
Big Dog's decision. My decision.
Mike's decision.
So first of all, the Super Bowl was so boring, I couldn't really enjoy the Patriots getting their undies beat off.
Terrible.
Thoughts and prayers for the long-suffering fans, those massholes, as I learned to call them. Second, vacationing in Puerto Rico maybe assisted my understanding and tolerance, but I really enjoyed the spectacle of Bad Bunny's halftime show. It was so joyous and captured the spirit of the Commonwealth, which is actually a United States territory, meaning that those people are all Americans too. I drank a lot of rum with them there at the San Sebastian Festival, and I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. I watched the very end of the NBA All-Star weekend, and it seemed like pickup on my playground the way they were playing. One team waiting off to the side to get in. I was glad to see Kawhi Leonard working a side job where he actually had to show up to get paid, and that's an NBA insider joke. Also, I couldn't believe LeBron James got to the final game. I thought he'd go home early for dinner like the old days with the guys I played with on the court back in the day. I also, even as a Cowboys fan, I cannot let the passing of Sonny Jurgensen go by.
Yes.
We lost number 9 recently, and he was easily my favorite Washington player. He was all the things you wanted in a QB, a brash, swashbuckling leader, and that distinctive sidearm release and that little punch. I saw in the Post they had quoted Vince Lombardi called him the best quarterback he ever coached. Sorry, Bart Starr. Sonny also helps me out a lot around my anniversary time because my wife always, she's just not, and God love her, and I do. I love her too, and but she never remembers what date our anniversary is. I do, because
wow.
I moved to DC, and we got married on the 9th. DC 9. You know, come on. Every Washington fan knows what I'm talking about there.
Correct.
Anyway, you know, I have always rooted for Washington's arch rivals. And one more thing on them. My Cowboys had arguably the worst defense in team history this year. Talk about doomsday for fans.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the first year in 1960 when they only had cast-off players, didn't win a game, and were generally horrible. But I did see these guys this year, and I said something that made my friends and I laugh. And it was this, and I will stand by this. I think my mom's Sunday school class could have scored on them. And then I went on to say, Miss Whitney open in the corner, touchdown. Mrs. Hash threw a gaping hole in the middle, big yardage. Speaking of which, hopefully better weather in baseball. Alex Guerra's Highlanders, already off to a fast start, are coming. I used to sit in church, not think about the old lady scoring touchdowns on the Cowboys, but I would sit there and imagine a wiffle ball stadium. And I could hear the whack of the bat in my head, and then the sound of the plastic ball bouncing around in the choir loft behind the pulpit. Seriously. And I'd like to say I cut all this out as I got older. I'd like to say
no, you'd like to.
But please, thoughts and prayers for me.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, the Super Bowl was well, there you go. Perfect example of everything that's wrong in the NFL. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it was great to see you last night. It really was. You don't come in enough. It was great
to be seen. I can't get to the Dedmon Center enough. Although, you know, when are we going to be talking about a new arena or at least a major, a major overhaul again to make it more user friendly? And we've got to have events that get people down there more often. I think on campus as time has marched on with the students, the Dedmon Center is kind of out of sight, out of mind. I don't know how we're going to fix that problem, but we have to do that. I can't tell you how many meetings I sat in as a graduate in '83 and then coming to work there that we talked about that very thing. And we didn't have the signage or obviously the ways to keep in touch with people, but we just have to have more things going on down there and make that place a hub again for the whole town and the new River City, you know, as it were.
Yeah, you're right. It was a bad crowd last night, especially in the student side. Yeah.
And there really is a product worth seeing with these some of these players, Parker and Del Jones there on the basketball team. Those guys are fun to watch.
Wayne says, "Why do I feel like Mike Ashley should be Charlie on the brand new Charlie's Angels?" You could just be on the phone, your voice on the phone. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, the podcast is not for me. You know, I was a writer, ink-stained wretch. I was not supposed to be on TV or radio or anything. So, let me have my notes next to me so I can remember the names of kickers from Maryland I covered. And
I like that.
I can picture the guy. He kicked the field goal to beat Georgia Tech on a big night game that year when Ralph Friedgen went 7-0 back in 2001, and Maryland was the talk of the town. Hey, that was a long time ago, wasn't
it? It was. Well, listen, I know you have to travel all day today, so safe travels back to your favorite part of the world, Northern Virginia. Yay!
Yeah, I love telling people I'm trying to move away from there, and I'm taking 2 cars with me when I go. And of course, as everybody knows, the Beltway up there is a living, breathing animal, and it's much different in the New River Valley. In Radford, the inner loop is Norwood Street, and the outer loop's Rock Road. Okay, so yeah, that's it.
Love it.
All right, hey, Goober says, "Hey to everybody, it's great to be back. Thanks a lot."
Safe travels to Goober. All right, brother, be safe. There you go, Mike Ashley here on the program. Good stuff from the Highlander Hotel. Did a great job. Jen will join us coming up. Who was that? That was funny, Wayne. John Forsythe? Is that right? Wasn't he the voice on the phone? I just remember them all sitting in the office. Hey, Charlie. Hey, hi. I know you remember Wayne Farrah Fawcett sitting on the desk. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Angels. Hi, I'm John Forsythe. I'm Charlie. Wasn't Tom Bosley the other guy? The guy who actually got to hang around with him? And by the way, I never understood the hate on Kate Jackson. Kate Jackson was very attractive. She was also the very smart one. So don't be hating on Kate Jackson. I know you had Fair and Jacqueline, then you had Cheryl Ladd, but let's don't hate on Kate Jackson. Let's don't get into that. So it was John Forsythe. Okay. Big Dog Pop coming soon. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Angels. I would like to be that. I think I could do that. I think I could be the voice actor on the phone, on the speaker. Hello, Angels. How are you? Oh, hello there, Rick. Hi, Angels. Great job on the case today. I'm having a sniffer of brandy right now. Some well-prepared meats. Take the weekend off, Angels. Anyway, joining us now on the program, she is our favorite angel. Now there's a segue. It's Jen, the Gamecock girl. How are you?
Hey, I just want to say thank you for all the sweet birthday greetings. I appreciate that.
I even sent you a Gamecock custom birthday greeting.
You sent me 2.
I sent you 2. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That was really, really, really sweet. And I've been working so hard. It was welcomed. I needed a little bit of fun and love about then. And I'm still in the thick of my most crazy work time. So thank you for all the sweetness.
I do what I can. We're over 20 years together, and there's, it's magic. I'd like to say the magic is still there, Jen. I really would. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. It's magic only because we've never acted upon it. If we were together, we probably would already broken up.
Sure. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it would have been, you'd have put up with my good-natured ribbing about your Gamecocks and your Redskins, and I think it'd have been fine. It'd have been fine.
Do you think you could put up with me? You can handle all this?
Yeah, no question. We both agree on food pretty much for the most part. You can have whatever vegetables you want. Keep that separately, right?
Right.
All that stuff. Yeah. By the way, Coach Elmo, now, you ready for this? Elmassian was just on, and he wants to know what's up with your saxophone performance. Where are we? Now you got it. Now you got a coach jumping on you a little bit here.
I am now in the phase where it's like the Bachelorette, and I'm trying all the different mouthpieces, and I'm trying to decide who's going to get the rose. I don't know yet.
Did you finally get the one from?
I have received all of the auditioning mouthpieces, and I'm in the process of trying them all. I am playing the anthem Sunday at the USC baseball game for our game against Air Force. If weather holds, it looks like it might rain. So that will be the debut of the new Soulmate. Will be Sunday. I hope.
Oh, wow! That's going to be big. That's a big moment for you.
It is a big moment.
That's exciting.
My other mouthpiece and I were together 35-ish years, maybe.
I know.
Longer than you and I have been together.
I know, right? It preceded me, which is saying something. I still, it's weird. I think about the shock you must have had in that moment when you realized it had shattered or had broken. Like, you must have been like, what?
Shattered is accurate. And I kind of felt like I was going to throw up. So.
I understand.
It was not fun. And then the other.
Oh, we lost your audio. Where did Jen go? Did we lose Jen? Yeah, we lost your audio. Did you do that? Yeah, you did that. It says you have chosen to mute yourself. I don't think you did. I think it was just something that's happened with your system. Timeout. Jen needs a timeout. So we'll take a break as well. South Carolina down by 42. We'll take a break. Hey, there she is.
I didn't touch anything. I have no idea how that happened.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Computers have been acting up all week. And for once, it's not on this end.
Well, maybe somebody somewhere was like, enough of the sax nerd geek talk, mute. No, but
it's good. It's good. I mean, we got to have you on. So there you go. There you go. All right. So we're looking at what? Let's get a new time frame for this saxophone performance.
Oh, you're really trying to close this deal.
Yeah, we had to close the deal, Jen. I closed the deal on you years ago. So
I don't know. I really like springtime, like maybe a March Madness situation or something like that could be fun. The weather's starting to turn here. South Carolina now has hit its default setting, and we're back in the beautiful 70-degree
default setting.
Fabulous weather. So it's got me in a good mood. Got me looking ahead to better times.
You won't be cold anymore, will you? You won't be cold again until next winter.
I hope not. That was enough.
You know what? Hey, could you think you could learn like the March Madness theme, whatever it is that CBS plays for their college basketball cover? That'd be cool.
I don't know it, but I'm certain I could learn it if you want to send me a clip or something.
All right, let me try to find that. I'll try to get that to you. And we could have that with Careless Whisper. I think you kind of owe the peeps and Coach Elmo and me 2 performances at this point.
I feel like just to give everybody clear expectations, let's put it that way. I think that my best playing is more like sultry, expressive type music versus like sports, like sportsy stuff. So if you want to hear me in my wheelhouse, I think the Careless Whisper type stuff is better than for me playing at this point in my life.
This might be the most anticipated performance since Michael Jackson at the Super Bowl back in the day. I mean, I just want to tell you, people are really
the same, exactly like that. From my condo and my crappy mic, I'm sure it's going to be amazing after all this build up. I bet everybody at home will be like, "What is that?"
Oh, and see, TLB saying now it must be the people here on the show are just on the lower end of the priority list, I guess. Wow, see the hearts you're breaking. See there, you don't even know, do you? No, you don't even know.
People will remember I used to play the anthem solo for all the boys basketball games, and I would just walk out in the mid-court and just do it solo without any accompaniment or tracking or anything like that. And that was a fun time for me. You know, when you're younger, you don't have any nerves or apprehension. You just go out there and like, okay, good, I'm done. Now can I eat some popcorn and hang out with friends?
Yeah, I get it.
So, you know, now this buildup has occurred, and I'm a little bit worried about it, but I'm more concerned about the sound quality.
No, it'll be fun. I think we've gotten to Super Bowl hype type of buildup for this. I really do. That's where we are with this.
It's so not going to be worth all that. So I think it's hard. Like most people, when they hear someone who plays a brass instrument or woodwind instrument, when they hear them solo without any kind of tracking or any kind of background noise, they're always like, oh my gosh, like your breathing is so loud when you do it, because we have to take in so much air to make it happen. And I think most people are like, whoa, because if you're recording, all that's edited out, you don't hear all that. So I think that is the thing most people are surprised by when they hear something like this. We need a lot of air moving.
I think people are going to I think you're going to be surprised. I think everybody's going to be like, wow, she's really good. She's really good. She's really good, everybody. Trust me. She's really good. Did you ever watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You remember Ron Swanson as Duke Silver when he'd get on his saxophone? And, you know, by the way, he really does. That actor plays the saxophone. He's really good. I mean,
a lot of famous people dig the sax. Jennifer Gardner, she played sax in high school. She's a cool chick. Sax people are fun.
I picture you being that way where you're under sax. Your voice gets lower. Hey, everybody, welcome here. This is the day that I am, kind of put the chapeau on and you just start going to town.
Ooh, we're going French with a hat, the chapeau reference. Look at you. Okay, Pulaski County High School teaching you the French.
Go Cougars!
Did you have French at PCHS?
Yeah, we did, but I took Spanish.
Oh. Okay, you're multilingual. Who knew?
Who knew? And I had to learn to drop that accent. I had to work on that, and I still have it, I guess. But you had to learn to drop that country twang from your voice a little bit.
Yeah, I get it. I still have things that I say here that people laugh at me because they say it's very unique to our part of the world, which I've never thought about. Like apparently the way we say southwestern, northwestern, like that little turn at the end is unique to Appalachia. And people tease me about it all the time down here. And I can't cure myself.
Really?
That's one of the things. Yeah.
So what word is it again? Southwestern?
Any kind of like the directional stuff like that. Southern, Western, like they don't say it like we say it.
Well, they're losers.
Every single time they'll call me out on it here. So I've gotten very self-conscious about it, but it is apparently unique to our part of the world. But I think in general, my accent is sort of a mix of different things because my parents were not originally from that area. They were from Delaware. So I think I've got kind of a weird mix of stuff. And now I've got South Carolina thrown in it. In South Carolina, I feel like the Southern accent here is slower and a different kind of tone to it versus I think the Appalachian accent's a little more a little harsher at times, not for lack of a better word, like it's got more edge to it.
Well, let me ask you this is going to be a stupid question. In Poland, is there a different texture to the voice? Is there an accent for true Polish people?
I actually don't know. This is one of those things where like
anybody know? Yeah.
The Polish family came over. They just really wanted to assimilate and just ditched all the Polish speaking. So my father didn't really know much Polish. Like he had just a few words. So it wasn't something that we really embraced and explored as a family. But it was his great grandparents who came over. Okay.
I wonder if Polish language sounds a lot like German. I wonder if it's similar. I don't know. I'm just, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to look it up later today.
Oh, wait, let me correct that. It was his grandparents. My great grandparents came over.
Your grandparents? Okay, his grandparents.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to go there, and that is something that's on my list is traveling there. And
have you ever looked up your Jablonski? What is that thing that people do? What's that called?
Genealogy.
Yeah, genealogy thing. Have you done that?
I have. It's actually pretty fascinating because one of my again, great grandparents, I think, or maybe even a generation before, there was some named Carolina, which I loved. Some women named Carolina.
Carolina Jablonski. Wow.
And I was like, oh, I like that. That's cool. So
wow.
It's been fun to explore that a little bit and to check into it. And I'm a member of some Polish clubs and things that are like social hangouts in different locations. And one is in Baltimore. And that's the one I go to the most. And the people tease me because I have the Polish cheekbones. So we tend to have more like chubby little cheekbones. So apparently I look more Polish.
Go through all your lineage and find a bunch of other hot, sassy blondes playing instruments throughout. That'd be cool.
There are some famous musicians who are Jablonskis. So that's fun too.
I like that. That's fun. That's kind of fun. We do
some traditions with the food thing. My grandmother used to make various Polish treats that my brother and I loved. Of course, none of them are good for you. Maybe this explains why Polish people are a little thicker. I don't know. There's a lot of I think every tradition has its fried dough with sugar on it thing. And we have something like that. A lot of carbs. Pierogi, of course, everybody knows those. Too many carbs.
Yeah. Pierogi. Yeah. What's the one main meat of Polish people? Sausage? Is that the stereotype? Polish sausage, I know, is big.
Well, it is pretty popular. Dad used to tell us about a soup. We never had it, but it sounded kind of gross to me. It was like duck's blood. Not really of interest for me.
Not a big soup guy. I'm not a big soup guy.
Beets, a lot of beets and cabbage.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot of carbs, like whole bunch of carbs. So
yeah,
um,
I'm not into all that.
but
I don't like my food swimming in water.
yeah, it's just not as satisfying.
Yeah, I'm not big on that. Not big on that at all.
Do you want to come to Poland with me? Could be fun. Polish people are very social.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They
like to drink a little bit and hang out and laugh. And
well, that fits the one Polish person that I know talking to right now.
No. I mean, I will when the time is appropriate.
Damn drunk.
Not drunk, just enjoying life. Carpe diem.
So earlier in the program, you came up because we can't ever stop talking about you. Someone asked, we were talking about scenarios where you would not, like if you had your favorite drink and something would happen, make you go, I'm not going to drink this. And somebody said, I bet Jen, I think it was Morris, said, I would bet Jen wouldn't put down one of her Manhattans. What if you came in, it was a long weekend, you got back in town, you were out recruiting, or you're back, after spending some time with Holly, and you're kind of chilling and you've got your Manhattan, and then you hear a knock at the door. The scenario that I proposed to the gentleman in chat was, I bet if it were Kurt Signetti and he had Tupperware things, he's been cooking like steak or meat or brisket or something. And he was like, hey, Jen, I'm going to need you to put down the Manhattan, come over here and let's spend some time with Signetti. And then I said, I bet you she wouldn't have drank that Manhattan then.
That's correct. If I could give up Manhattans and we would be guaranteed a national championship in football, I'm not going to drink another Manhattan ever again.
I just mean you hanging out with Signetti because I know he's your guy.
Yes. Okay, where is he?
I don't know. All you have to do, by the way, we proved this yesterday on the show, say it into your phone. Like yesterday, everybody knows my affinity for Selma Hayek. So I went, all right, let's check this out. Because I say these are just spy devices. That's all these are.
Yeah.
I said, Selma Hayek, show up at lunchtime today with a ribeye steak, medium rare, mashed potatoes, whatever. And then sure enough, the next thing that showed up on X was this homage to Selma Hayek that I've never seen before. So if you say something in your phone, I will guarantee you, if you just say, Kurt Signetti, say something, and I guarantee you.
Show up at my doorstep and bring me a national championship for the Gamecocks and a ring. I would like a ring from his team as well, please. Thank you.
Okay, so now just wait, and then at some point on your socials today, you're going to see Kurt Signetti pop up for no reason. You watch.
Okay.
Guaranteed. And when it happens, I want you to text me.
I look forward to the results. I want those results.
Do people not understand that's all these are tracking devices? You think people are still stupid and they don't understand what this is all about?
It's a little bit creepy. Yeah. I'm trying to, personally, I'm trying to detach more from my phone, and it is kind of, sometimes it's fascinating to me, that urge I have then to pick it back up. And I'm like, ew, this is unhealthy. So I'm trying to force myself. Like sometimes at work, I'll set a timer and I'm not going to touch it for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. I do the same thing now. Like the best times when you can just go, I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to walk out of the room and get away from the phone. I'm the same way. Yeah, it's the best. It's the best feeling in the world. Yeah.
Well, it kind of makes me sad, and I think this is part of what's going on in the world is people are used to customizing whatever experience they want to them and like distracting themselves. Like if you're in an environment you're uncomfortable, you just play on your phone, right? Like if you're at a airport, you're gonna play on your phone instead of maybe having a chit chat with a new person. Like, you're not extending as much with other people because you're so buried in your phone. And I think about little kids, like, I don't know if this happened to you, but my parents would go out to dinner and we would come along with another couple or another family. And sometimes Neil and I would get really bored, like super bored. But, and they would just continue talking. We were expected to be quiet and to kind of just listen and nod. But every once in a while something would come up of interest or something we would learn from the people by being there. And I think that taught us a lot about being open to other experiences and having to be patient and to listen and learn. And I just don't know that people are doing that anymore, because you can now, like the kids would all be playing on a phone or iPad, right?
That's fair.
So I don't think it's the healthiest. Like if you can always choose a distraction and go back to your own world and your own people who agree with all your opinions and do all the same things you do via your phone, I just don't think it's that great. I think it's good to be exposed to other people and other discussions that sometimes are a little bit out of your comfort zone.
No, it was better the way we grew up. I think there's something about, like you're saying, you had to interact to create relationships. You had to go out and play to have entertainment. You had to be creative. Books meant something, whatever it was. I mean, you're right. 100% change. I agree with you 100%. And now it's just like everybody's so glued to their phones at all times. I mean, at all times. It's just in the younger generation, it's their norm. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't like what's happening right now, and I'm bored with what this person's saying, so I'm going to pick up my phone.
I'm going to get into my phone. Right.
Maybe not. Maybe challenge yourself to have a little more mental toughness than that, And I'm trying to embrace that myself. I have caught myself doing it. Like the Gamecocks are playing poorly. I've just picked up my phone and I'm like, I'm going to think about something else. But sometimes in doing that, I've missed like the turnaround moment where the game switches and now we have momentum, and you miss things, and I just don't think that's a good thing.
Most of the time I'm on mine for sport, for result, for things like that. I don't ever usually just sit there and I'm not scrolling sites and doing a lot of that stuff, but I do like to keep up with games. I do that a lot, and scores and things like that. And when I'm doing a game, I'm calling a game, a lot of times, I'm going on the phone to get updates of what's happening elsewhere and things like that, or to look up a fact to make sure I don't mess up a fact. But I don't really sit there all day
and scroll. That's good, because I feel like one day I scared myself because I scrolled too much. And then when I went to bed and started the dream, I had dreams where that material was kind of scrolling in my brain visually in my head. And I thought, okay, that's a sign. I gotta calm down on this. So,
that's true.
Have real ramifications, because I think it changes the way you think and the way you process information and entertain yourself. I don't think any of it is a good result. The AI thing to me is fun, but also kind of terrifying. Like I'm just waiting for the day that somebody's loved one in the hospital is diagnosed by AI and then doesn't make it because of that, because it was a misdiagnosis or something.
Yeah, it's going to put Hollywood out of business. AI is going to put the creative visual. This is going to be the last type of thing that's real. People are creating scenes in movies and they're putting them side by side. Some of these AI programs are so advanced, you can't tell a difference between a fight scene if you watch one of the Rocky movies and you put Sylvester Stallone against Carl Weathers as Apollo and Rocky, it's scary. And that's the one that I saw. You're like, which one's AI, which one's real? And I know there are people that understand how to spot the difference, but if you're watching it and I was wrong and I was like, that's scary. That's scary. So it's going to happen. Yeah,
it is scary. I think in some ways, maybe it'll help live music because people will maybe have more appreciation.
I hope.
Real live music, I hope. But it's fascinating. One of the people I know that I went to school with, he started an AI country artist in Colombia. And that artist is being followed at record numbers and cranking out material. And he's
not real?
Not real, but a lot of people either don't get it or they're fascinated by it, or I don't know. He's very attractive. The music is very formulaic commercial country, but it's catchy. Like if you're into, that's not my thing. Like the bro country thing is not for me, but it's good stuff if you like that.
Yeah, agreed. That's scary. That's very frightening. So you say people that are watching and listening don't understand that it's AI? A lot of them, they think it's real?
I think they don't get, I don't think they know. And they're, the artist, I think his name is Rowan something. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
So he releases stuff on Spotify regularly, and it's being downloaded in pretty big numbers. And there's a bio created around his existence, and it talks about him being a bartender in Colombia and a Gamecock, and like sometimes he's in Gamecock clothes, and it's a little, I don't know how I feel about it.
That's scary. Wow.
People are downloading the music.
Well, in music today, I don't like the downloadable thing. I know is convenient, but there's something cool about having a CD or an album and listening to that album as soon as you got it home, front to back, and understanding you had to listen to the whole album, not just a popular song, that there was a reason in most cases, or a lot of cases. A lot of people just do it for commercial value, but there was a reason. Like the albums you enjoy from Coltrane, those jazz albums, they're put together a certain way for a reason in the artist's mind, their mind's eye about how it was going to fit together. And now when you can just go to Spotify anywhere and it's just not the same. And I don't think there's an appreciation for music the way there needs to be. It was something about saving up your money and going to buy the latest album by whomever and taking it home, and you can't wait. And you're looking through the album sleeve and you're reading the lyrics. And now it's just bad. It's just bad.
Yeah. None of the anticipation. And you're right. It was more like a production for musicians, thinking about the flow of the album and thinking about the pacing of it. I remember this is again more reflection of me being a saxophonist, but like Steely Dan, listening to some of his stuff or their stuff, not one person, but listening to the whole album, and the flow was just so genius, and thinking it through. Earth, Wind and Fire, all those albums, and the excitement of getting them.
I know. Not the same. So as much as we think we've advanced and we've made all these technological advances, we've kind of set ourselves back, haven't we? We really have.
I don't know. I'm genuinely concerned. But I will say, I feel like when I hang out with our students, I think the music students have more compassion and care for other people. They have a different sensitivity, and some of it allows them to be good at what they do and expressive, and not being scared to be expressive in their particular art form. But sometimes if I'm out in the general world, away from my bubble of music people, people just aren't as nice and as caring. I think that they're better in the South overall, but there's definitely a changing culture in the country, and people are quick to be inflamed and angry, and it's not a good change.
No, it's not. The changes that are going on in this country, there's none of it's good. Hey, there you go. We got Earth, Wind, and Fire fan. What's up, Chris? You have a good weekend. Christopher Lester, EWF. Earth, Wind, and Fire, one of my all-time favorite bands. No question.
Easy to love. So talented. And the energy, I've always loved their message, has always been about peace and love for all, and very upbeat, caring for everybody. They have a lot of good parts to them besides being amazing musicians.
Yeah, Maurice White, absolute genius.
Mm-hmm.
God rest his soul.
A new documentary that Questlove is releasing about them that I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be on Netflix, but I need to
really. Ooh, okay. I'll be all over that.
Digging into like some of the old school music and doing some documentary work is his next artistic venture. I'm very excited.
Okay. I'm all over that.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Philip Bailey, singer. One skill I have that nobody would ever guess.
Well, since you just mentioned Philip Bailey, I'm wondering if you can sing falsetto or something like that.
Yeah, I can sing. I can sing the song "Reasons." If you ever listen to "Reasons" and hear some of that, if you're in the right mode.
Okay, do it right now. All right, you're trying to get me to play sax. Why am I not hearing that?
Because I haven't. This is going to sound lame, but I'm still coughing. I'm still not I'm still in mode. Like when I come on to talk, I have to program my vocal levels to keep from coughing. Does that make sense? Like even last night, I realized I was doing it. You have to change. So I'm not talking like I normally do. And
I hear a little bit of rasp in your voice, but I'll tell you, hanging around vocalists all the time, you need to get the throat coat tea. Do you have that? You must get that. Like every singer, that's part of their arsenal. And there's a spray, and I'll send you the link for it. You need to get that. That'll help you. Like all the singers have all the tricks because they have to.
Yeah,
do
that'd be great. That'd be great.
But the throat coat tea, you can buy that in any health food store. Probably even now it's in regular stores. Probably, would they call it Gucci Kroger in Blacksburg?
Yeah.
But I can give you all the tricks. But yeah, I hear a little bit in your voice. I know you're not quite back yet.
I'm not there. But yeah, I've had to like tone everything down a little bit. So because if not, I'll tickle.
Sultry. I hear it's like a little more like, hey, baby.
Yeah, it has to be at a lower. Yeah, because as soon as I start getting a little louder and you start to, it messes up. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's looking for you.
Anything you can help with, that would be great.
Yeah. I do. I have all the secrets from them. The voice people are the most knowledgeable about
Well, that's good because warm teas and stuff. I've tried that. I do it. It doesn't work. I've tried the warm tea and honey. It does it at the time for like 10 minutes, but then here it comes 10 minutes after. Like,
there's a supplement too. I'll send you all the stuff. The supplement will help you a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's always great to catch up with you. I'm so glad now you've got choices with the mouthpiece. Let me know how it goes this weekend. I know you'll post a video, right? You usually do.
I will if it happens. I don't know. Rain may be an issue. But I wanted to do the Air Force game because, as you know, Cousin Howard, who we've talked about a lot on the show, is an Air Force. He's retired Air Force. So he's a vet. He was in Vietnam. So I wanted to do the Air Force game. We're doing all the military branches. Well, the ones with baseball this weekend. We're playing Army. I'm trying to think when that game is.
No, very cool.
Anyway, I picked the Air Force one on Sunday on purpose to honor him. So I really hope that it works.
Y'all need to do what you need to kind of borrow from Clumpson. I love what they do with the veterans, and Army went up with them. You guys need to do that when Army's in town and Air Force too.
I'm sure they will. Yeah, that was really nice. And I don't often, quote unquote, like social media stuff with Clemson, but that
was cool.
Yeah, I appreciated that.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we appreciate you as always. You have a great weekend, and I hope it goes well. And folks, it's going to happen. We'll pick out the time, and we'll get Jen on her saxophone. It's going to be a great day here on the program.
Well, I hope so. I'm going to have to do some sound checks to make sure.
No, it'll be fun.
We'll see.
It'll be fun. All right. Give our best to everybody in Gamecock country.
Thank you. Go Cock.
Are you in town this weekend? You traveling? You going to?
I'm going to Greenville, South Carolina, because we have a retreat for Carolina Crown Board of Directors, the drum corps that I work with. So I will be gone this weekend, but I'll obviously be back Sunday in time for the baseball game in case it happens. So I hope it works.
Okay. Yeah, I'm traveling too. I'll be in Asheville.
Oh, we'll be kind of close to each other then. Asheville and Greenville is 45 minutes.
No, you should come out to the arena and hang out. I'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow.
I got stuff to do. But
I know. Always got stuff to do. I know. I understand.
Hope the Highlanders get it done, though.
Yeah, I think they will, actually. I think they're going to win tomorrow. All right. Yeah. You have a great weekend. Stay safe in your travels, and we'll resume next week.
Love you.
Love you. Thank you. Thanks for the thanks in advance for the help for my throat.
I'll text you.
All right. Be good. Be safe. It's Jen, the Gamecock girl. Great stuff from her. Thanks to everybody. Great week, man. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for all the great compliments on the shows this week. We heard from a lot of new people, even the great bots we had joining us today. Thanks, bots. You're awesome. This means we're reaching a larger variety of people. Please remind people to subscribe, like, and share the channel. Everybody take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back on Monday to do it all over again, okay? We will. I hope we made your week better because hanging out with you always makes mine better. Thanks to Coach Elmo, Mike, and Jen. See you on Monday.